Well, good evening, everyone. A beautiful Thursday evening here from Loxley, Alabama, for now the second stage, the second half of the IMCA TV Clash from the coast here, down here in Florida. We've been here since, well, it seems like we've been here since last week, getting content, as you saw some of the great stuff there. But practice underway right now. Got started with practice just after 6 p.m. Had about 3 or 4 flights of modifieds and stock cars. We're going to give you some of that later in the evening. But we've got a lot of great stuff planned here, just besides watching cars go in circles, Ben.
That we do. And it's great that we're having a practice show with practice going on. Getting a mix of some good storylines and some cool things that we have coming here for the final 2 nights. And, of course, some folks to get a little bit of a teaser to what's going to be happening here at Deep South Speedway, which I will say, this is an amazing, amazing facility.
Oh, this is a gorgeous facility. We're here Saturday afternoon, kind of pulled in early, and it kind of reminds me of Batesville in a way. It's banked up. It's a little narrower, a little shorter, wall around the inside, and it's just banked all the way around. Watching these guys, stock cars are kicking at about 19-second lap times. Modifieds are in the 17s. So going to be a quick little racetrack. I know that we got here this morning. They were working on things, getting the finishing touches put on, the weeds trimmed and the grass cut, and place is beautiful little facility right here off the interstate.
Yeah, and it kind of gives me vibes of maybe like a Grays Harbor Raceway in Elma, Washington, up in the Pacific Northwest, or Skagit Speedway up in Alger. But really what drew me and made my eyes pop out almost was the red clay. You know, here you normally hear in Georgia and Tennessee that southern red clay. It's right here, and I'm excited to see how it gets raced on.
That's exactly. So what we've got on docket for you tonight is some practice later on. We're going to go ahead and bring you kind of what the night looks like. Tonight we're going to have some great interviews, some clips, kind of like if you were with us on Monday night where we had, it wasn't just always about what was happening behind us outside the window, but a lot of what's been happening behind the scenes in the pits. And, I'm excited towards the end of this. It's on the cusp of being released, with a culmination of ourselves at IMCA TV and Dirt Collective, that the Boone docu-series, another 4 episodes coming out here in the moment. We'll keep you up to date, but we're going to give you a little tease on that here later this evening. But just a lot about things that were out there, and some of the things we saw the first night is we saw the old G body versus the new Camaro body. Talking, we have a handful of down here. I know Dustin Viss, the Murdy's have got them. There's a handful of them. We had a chance today to just stop back, check the pits, talk with the drivers, and kind of get a feel of what this new MD3 composite Camaro body is going to look. Let's see what they've got to say.
What you want, what you like, what you need, I could put you on a night. Overseas, I could put you on a flight.
For people that don't know about this MD3 Camaro body, what's it all about?
It's plastic for first off. I don't know. It's something they'd come out with, something IMCA is going to let us run. So we decided what the heck and try to throw it on and see if we can tell a difference.
It's plastic. It's all plastic except for the doors are aluminum and the hood's fiberglass, and it's got a fiberglass roof on it. I don't know. It looks okay, I guess. They needed to make them like 6 inches longer in the back. They're too short in the back. Our bumpers don't quite fit. There's no crush, and even in the front, it could have went 4 more inches probably, and it would have. I think the car would have looked better, and then we would have had more room for the bumpers.
What was the big attraction to going into this new body, just to try something?
Yeah, it's just something different. The plastic, I'm a big fan of plastic. If I'm running modifieds, you can run into stuff and it doesn't bend or crinkle up. Only problem, if it rips, you gotta buy a new piece. But that was the biggest reason we did it, just for the plastic aspect. And I thought they looked better, and when I put it together, I thought it looked really cool. But watching it just doesn't look quite right yet. Probably gonna have to grow on us.
Oh, I don't know. We've never raced with the 80s body. We always had like the 2000 body on, and it kind of is similar to our body, so we decided that we was going to do it.
Well, is there any noticeable differences as far as when you're on the racetrack based off of it?
Well, as bad as I sucked the first night, I was ready to rip the whole body off, but no, I don't think so. We ran the 98 style Monte Carlo roofs beforehand, and they were quite a bit heavier than this. This was probably about 70 pounds lighter than our old bodies. So I don't know if the body roll maybe has a little difference, but then a lot of guys run fiberglass roofs anyway, so the roofs kind of weigh the same as them now. Other than that, it's just wider. I thought maybe they'd maybe be a little aero dependent, but I can't really tell a difference.
Maybe like we had the steel roofs, and Dallin was complaining that he didn't think his car was getting over last night on the right side, and these bodies are 60 pounds lighter than what we was running, and you got all that metal up here, so that might be some of it why it won't get over. So we got to do a little change in there or move some weight up higher.
So just finished up a session there. You see Damon Murdy right there exiting the racetrack there, and that got to look at it up close there, but see, that's what they look like on the racetrack. Beautiful looking hot rod there is the old Chelsea Charger out there, as they just had a hot lap session out there for your stock cars. I believe we're going to roll some modifieds out and give you a little bit of that, a little bit of eye candy.
Yeah,
man, let them see some cars. Let them see what this place looks like. As Sarge got the drone on up there. Of course, there's the pit area. There's pit area, the main pits off of turn 1 and 2. There's pit area along the back stretch, pit area along 3 and 4, and just kind of the neat old seating of this place. It's layered up concrete and grass. You come in with your lawn chairs and your coolers and hang out with your friends. And neat little, great little facility here. Of course, also under their second year of IMCA modified Friesen Performance Modified sanctioning. Of course, 2024, first year for sanction of the modifieds here at Deep South. This year, of course, doing that with the modifieds also. So seeing modifieds come to the racetrack as they've been out there, like I said, been out on the racetrack since a little bit after 6, kind of getting this thing reared in, and it's been fast. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and it's cool to see we've picked up a couple of drivers that we haven't seen all week, and I think we're going to see that especially on Saturday. Sometimes work interferes with some of our hardworking drivers that are a part of the Speedway Motors IMCA weekly racing program, and yeah, this place. What I really like about this I don't know what you call it, terraced seating, is they've got grass in between. Just kick your shoes or sandals or boots off and have your toes in some nice feeling grass and just kick back. It's almost like baseball park-esque as far as like a minor league team or something. But it's right here in southern Alabama. We're so glad that all of you can tune in with us here at practice. As Jerry said, Friesen Performance IMCA Modifieds on the racetrack.
It will red clay. It'll
Yeah.
stain your shoes.
Yeah.
It'll stain your feet through your socks.
Yeah, my grandparents had on their hill just outside of Cottage Grove had red clay that I think destroyed lots of shoes and pants when I would go out there in the summers.
Yeah, so looks like we're gonna wind things up. We're gonna let your ears take in the sounds, and your eyes take in the sights as we go a little modified practice session here at Deep South. So rolling out that session of modified practice, we're going to bring you some stock cars before we get back into some great stuff that we've got planned here for you this evening. Like we said, great shot from Sarge's Sarge's drone up there. This place is just a gorgeous facility. Kind of nestled back in the, kind of like every racetrack you get down here. It's nestled back in the trees and the woods, and you come down the old briar patch, and boom, there's a racetrack, and whew, this place is sexy.
And great people too. Southern hospitality isn't a myth. It's a reality.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's great people here, willing to help each other out.
You won't believe it. People said they liked me down here. I don't know. I mean, either they're goofy or they're really nice people, because they said, "You're a nice guy," and I'm like, "Oh, hang on, you've been drinking?"
Yeah, there's a 24-hour test there. So, yeah. No, very enjoyable. All sorts of stuff to do. Obviously, what was cool about yesterday with the IMCA TV crew, they kind of did their own thing. You guys went on a fishing trip. Some people went on a dolphin excursion.
Cruise. Some people took naps.
Yeah, I walked the beach working on my tan, and yeah. A little bit of everything. How was that trip, by the way?
I got a little sun-kissed yesterday. I was happy. The sun kiss on the skin.
What's the story with the? So you guys saw dolphins, and it was trying to eat some of your guys' fish that you were trying to catch.
Dolphins like to eat fishies. I think a dolphin took one off my hook. I had
a big one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Monster.
I was hoping to hook one of them dolphins, but I didn't hook a dolphin. So stock cars out there in this session. You got Dallin Murdy, Jimmy Gustin's out there, Eric Arneson, the old flying horse radish, the old 21 Jim Horsch out there. Plus a handful of little factory stocks, a pair of Wisconsin racers out there, Ford Malvitz in the Triple X, the numeral way to 30, and Rod Snellenberger out there in the 10 car.
Yeah, Wyatt Parker in the 8. One of the locals here with the Sunoco IMCA stock car. We were talking about, Vandermark from Michigan. They're trying to get stock cars started up there, and then also possibly some in the Maryland, Pennsylvania area. It'd be really cool to see a Sunoco IMCA stock car class on the regular down here in Florida and Alabama. It's one of those things. All it takes is one car, and then everyone says, "Hey, man, this is a cool deal." As we'll let you listen and look at the last Too Tough to Tame here at Deep South Speedway. So as you can tell, a loaded field J-Van that's going to be here for the Sunoco IMCA stock car portion of the 2025 IMCA TV Clash on the Coast. I mean, between both divisions, we've got, multiple Speedway Motors IMCA Super Nationals fueled by Casey's champions. We've got some national champions sprinkled in there. Really looking forward to how everything's going to kind of come to a close. Kind of one of those bittersweet moments, obviously. Just a couple nights of racing left, but I feel like it's going to be an exclamation point on already an excellent week.
Oh, exactly. You know, it's we're on the back half. It's like Super Nationals. You know, once you get to Thursday, you're like, oh, it's almost over, and then you get to Saturday, and it's like, no, why is it over?
Yeah.
These are the same great events. You know, there's always those events that we have with IMCA across the country that make things just those events you want to attend, and this is one of those. Just not only is it a great week of racing, but it's it's the sights, it's the sounds, it's the maybe you've never been somewhere. And you get to go there. And I tell you what, the other day we let the old Bobcat loose in the Buc-ee's. Yeah, I don't know if he lost his virginity in a hurry or popped his cherry at the Buc-ee's or what, but he was all wound up. And let's see, he went out with a grocery cart. So let's see what the Bobcat thought of being unleashed at the Buc-ee's.
Where's he at? Oh, he's got to have a smoke first, don't you?
Oh, I ain't having no
What have you
smoke.
had? Already 7 here, and you've been in Florida for an hour?
We've been to two restrooms, Taj Mahal restrooms. I don't know if I've ever seen this many gas pumps in a town of 10,000. Welcome to Buc-ee's. People everywhere. I don't know if I've been into anything this big in my entire life. Which ones do you eat, Greg?
The Nashville.
I'm gonna go with the ranches.
Why? First off, what do you think about Buc-ee's?
I don't want to leave right this minute. I want to go down here and check out all the other stuff.
You ain't even made it to the
I didn't
barbecue
even,
section yet.
right, I didn't even made it to where all the animal heads are.
Me following you around with this camera, people are going to start thinking you're a big celeb, dude. Everybody's staring at you.
I put my pants on the same way everybody else does in here, one leg at a time.
You ever go out?
No. Everybody keeps staring at us because we're all... $30 what do you do? How much? $30. Jeez. I'm getting some, but I'm on vacation. Screw it. How many of these are in the state? How many of these? Are you local here?
I live in Florida.
You live in Florida?
Yeah.
So is this the only Buc-ee's close around here?
Yeah.
First timer here.
Yeah, oh, well, welcome. Yeah, so I think the closest one to here is Auburn.
What's the best food in this place right here?
Those sandwiches, the brisket sandwiches.
The brisket sandwiches? Yeah?
All day. It'll make you pray. It's so good.
Okay.
All right.
It'll make you pray. It's so good. I've never heard that one either. Just take it a half pound of each. But look at Bucky, bud.
He's over there all day grinding away. This point.
How much sweat do you think he pours out a day in that thing? I'm first timer here, so thank you kindly, yes. Oh. Bohemian garlic? It's beefy. Freaking really good. Steakhouse. I like this cow.
Thank you.
So,
What all you got here
it
already?
concludes that we can get meat, drinks, some outlaw chips. Oh, Peyton gave me this popcorn stuff because I'm sure I'm going to need it later. Remember. You do you. You're good at it. Love fish. Dear, fish. Oh, they got trail cam? Ease. So basically we've concluded that you can go to any season you want here at Buc-ee's and get fuel jugs. Never seen a gas station with race car fuel jugs before. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, look at that.
J-Van, do we go with the Oaks? Got me some dirt doctors.
Dirt doctors.
Got me some dirt doctors, baby. I think I'm going with these red ones, bud.
Oh, you go straight to the Oakley cabinet.
Well, yeah. You're on vacation, bud. You only live one. I think I'm going with them big ones. Huh?
Oh, Valley.
I just told Jay, I'm like, man, you can come here, you can get hunting shit over here. They've got fish and squid and minnows over there. You can get race jugs if you need that, since we're just not that far from the racetrack. Flip-flops for the beach. You got Ma and Pa Christmas gifts.
Tug toys for the pups.
Tug toys for the pups. A generous selection here of sunglasses. I think I'm going with them red ones right there. I suppose I got to go find somebody, huh?
Well, how are you liking it so far?
Well, it's really good. I got snacks. I got jerky.
You need a cart.
They told me that when I come in here.
Yeah, you need a
They also
cart,
told
bro.
me that the guy that built this place planned on you spending over $100 when you come in here, and I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it never fails.
That's right. How long you worked here?
Almost 3 years.
3 years? Oh, they got Ray-Bans too, huh?
Yeah, I don't want Ray-Bans myself.
You are bougie.
We're just down here bussing in the big Florida. My daughter's been trying to work on me with that for like.
What does it mean?
I don't know what it means.
What's
Honestly,
Bobcat's definition of bussing?
I think bussing means like good, like it's good. And then there's this other one, Sigma. I don't know. Jimmy Gustin's supposed to be coming down and giving us a full rundown on all these slang words he's been working with Adley on. So when he gets here Sunday, hopefully we'll be able to understand some of that terminology. I also need 2 packs of Marlboro Light Shorts, please.
That's
Cigarette
your
prices.
aisle right there.
Cigarette prices are pretty similar, so that's a plus.
How much was it?
$250, 16. They said 100. We went well over that, but I didn't think I probably needed the sunglasses.
sunglasses.
But how much were they?
$174.
I'll lose them by the time we go home, I'm sure. Yeah. You said 100?
Yeah, 100.
Well, our first stop here in Pensacola, Florida. It's sunny, 46, southwest wind 10 to 15 mile an hour. Buc-ee's is absolutely awesome. If you've never been, stop in. You're going to spend more than $100, I'll promise.
We had to send the Bobcat home, Peyton. I think he got too loaded up on the Buc-ee's, and he got a tummy ache, he said, off of the Buc-ee's or the beaver bites or whatever them things are.
I love that guy. He's locked and loaded everywhere he goes, and just want to thank him and Bart for coming down. They's a big part of this and helped us out a lot, and he's just a good friend. Me and him got some pretty cool stuff we're working on together, so hopefully we can get that cat out of the bag. You see what I did there?
Maybe get the whiskers out first.
But yeah, we had a good time. It's he'd never been to Buc-ee's, so it was pretty neat.
I hadn't been either. That was my first time.
Well,
to
it's hard
Buc-ee's.
to get out of there for less than a Hamilton.
It was today too for lunch. It seemed like on
Yeah.
the way out here. So, hey, it's been a great 2 days so far. Of course, we've said we've lost the practice on Monday, or on Sunday, but Monday, Tuesday. I mean, I don't know that you can't look on social media and talk about, and nobody's not talking about the racing we saw at Northwest Florida and how, even though it was technical and had character, it was good racing.
I thought it was great racing. You can't please 100% of people 100% of the time, and character, traction, it makes for excitement. And that was probably one of the wildest finishes and it'll be talked about all year long, I'm sure. But yeah, I told them at the driver's meeting, I've never seen a hole that didn't have traction in it. So yeah, just excited. Scott and them at Northwest Florida, his whole staff, they worked their tail off, worked till wee hours in the morning. We got it rained from 6 to 4 on practice night, and that sand and once that water gets in there, you just can't get it out. And they turned it around for Tuesday, and I think if we didn't have that Barnhill caution, I think that modified feature goes green, white, checker. I wasn't even watching the leader.
Yeah.
I was all over the place, so, and I talked to Tracy up the tower, and she goes, I said, how'd everything go? She goes, I'm trying to get my eyeballs back connected because she said, it seemed like they got faster and faster.
Yeah.
But, for a small track, they fly around that place. It's pretty neat. So.
What a lot of people don't realize, talking to Scott and Craig and the gang, there's actually a water aquifer that sits under 3 and 4. That's why, you know, there's that. If you've seen the racetrack, that's why there's a big culvert. I mean, there's a big 12-inch drain tile there, and you know, with it getting the rain, with the tide being up, it kind of pushes that moisture up, and that's why it was the way it was. And rain, you know, it happens.
You know, I've learned in this promotion gig, not everything flows like you want it to. You got to adapt, overcome, and you know, you just even if it ain't going, you got to have a good poker face and just keep rocking through. I want to thank Timmy Current, my good buddy. I'm sure he thought I was about to stroke out there, and me and him's good friends. Him and Boone do a great job on promotions and stuff, so he reached out to me, so really appreciate that. And several other people did, so, you know, but it was a great couple of nights, and we'll thank all the fans and everyone for coming out and supporting that event. I know Baker ain't the closest place, but it produced some great racing for sure.
Oh, it does. I mean, and what it does, it lets you you know, disconnect from the world, because there's no cell phones coverage up there. So it's like old school, you know. If you get on the top of a trailer and lick your thumb and, you know, kick yourself, you know, put one leg up, you can maybe get some signal to watch or whatever. But that's kind of what I like about that place. It's secluded. It's its own little deal.
It's in the middle of the woods, and they put a racetrack right in the center of it, and it was fun, and glad they're a part of our event, and just thankful for all they do. But yeah, it was some excitement, you know. Austin, he had the modified stuff handled, didn't he? I thought the joiner deal, I didn't see that coming, you know. He went in there, I don't know if he got his right front in the fluff or what happened, you know. Hate that for him, because he had it going on. But the Hunt the Front guys, they are, you know, they're down here supporting us, so it's always good to have them. And, you know, we got 80 cars, you know, and the 80 we got there's some serious smoke in this bunch, you know, and a lot of the good ones, you know, a lot of the more experienced and traveling racers have had some serious issues, you know, so it's got them back in the points, and, you know, it's I don't know who's leaving with the hardwood. I don't.
You know, we'll find out on Saturday, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so let's talk about the next 2 nights here. I mean, like we said, total different character. You know, when you look at, you know, Northwest Florida's this little bull ring, and I mean, you're constantly in a circle. This thing's got straightaways, the hairpin. You know, it's got the tight corners. We've been watching them here. You know, they're using from the bottom to the top 3/4 of the racetrack, and it's she's smooth, and it looks like this place might slick off here.
I'm going to tell you, nobody knew kind of what we was going into. This is the first time IMCA's had a big event, IMCA TV streamed here. So it's pretty neat to see when we got the first cars out there kind of how it was going to react. And, man, this thing is, for lack of better words, it's haul ass. I'm just here to tell you. And from up here you can't see it, but like down there in the lineup chute, like it's cowboy, and it's a fast track. I'm hoping it produces. It looks like it's going to produce some really great racing this weekend. Excited to be here at Deep South Speedway. Billy Robinson and Ryan Carpenter have really got this place looking good for the fans and all these racers. And we're just happy to be here and be somewhere where, you know, people put in and put the effort in. So we're excited about that. We're going to be here tomorrow night. We're going to be starting at 7 o'clock. This traffic down here gets a little congested.
Oh, yes, it does.
Everywhere you go. So we're going to bump the start time up to 7 p.m. tomorrow night, just to allow for traffic and everybody just kind of get here safely. And I got to get my cheat sheet out here.
You're good.
So grandstand for admission is
it's right there
for both nights. Be $20 for adults, $15 for our veterans and seniors, $15 for students 13 to 17, and kids 12 and under are free. I mean, bring them little rascals. We got Outlaw Kids Racing Tour here. They'll take them in the pits, give them around. They've got gift bags for them. So it's a fun family event. Pit passes for both nights will be $35 for adults, $20 for kids 3 to 13 years old. But yeah, we're going to do Saturday night. We're going to back it up to 6 p.m. start time.
6.
That is to get all these racers and fans home. We're hoping we can do about a 3.5, 4-hour show. We hit 3.5-hour shows both nights at Northwest, so we're happy about that. we run a real quick show. You know, I know a lot of the racers don't like it because they want to get over there and talk about how hooked they was in a heat race and all this. But, you know, we got a lot of people and a lot of marketing partners that are supporting us, and it's our job to run an efficient show with great racing. And that's what we shoot for. You don't always hit it, but we definitely strive for it. And, you know, we got Kevin and Owen and Tracy and Cody and the whole IMCA bunch, my wife, Lexi. There's just a ton of people, and I know I'm forgetting somebody. I'm sorry, but there's a ton of people behind these productions and these events, and you can't do it by yourself. You cannot do it by yourself.
You know, we talk about this thing, how it's grown legs and started, you know, first year it kind of crawled a little bit. Second year it took off on a dead sprint. Third year, I mean, this is one of the races that one of the events that people talk about. It's not just hey, we're going to Florida to race. Hey, we're going to Clash at the Coast. Give us a little bit. You know, I know, you know, the story is you came down here, you raced, you took home some money, you thought, I'm going to do this deal. But with all that being said, it's the fun and the non-racing stuff that's what makes this even a lot more appealing, isn't it?
Well, I used to be a partier back in the day. I don't know if you know that or not.
You weren't last night. Or hanging out, I was napping while you were partying.
But yeah, so we want this to be an event destination for racers and their families and fans. You know, it's neat. So we did a welcome to the Clash Bash at Crabs at Pensacola Beach Saturday night. We had about 65 racers there. That was a pretty cool deal we started doing. I'm going to do that every year, I think.
Oh, that was
just
a fun
neat.
time.
When
it
you
was
get,
good.
When you get a bunch of racers, good food, and a few cold beverages, it's good, you know. And so then we went on the Orange Beach Dolphin Cruise with Scooter and Meredith Fredrickson. And we had, I think we had 58 on that boat, and it was awesome. Lots of dolphins and pretty neat experience. Got to see a lot of kids smile and just, oh, wow, you know,
What about when the old boat captain was going out of the bay? What did he tell you guys?
Hey, so Scooter is pretty awesome. He served in the military, so thank him for his service. But yeah, we're sitting out there, and there's police boat over here. It's got somebody fixing to light up, so they're stopped over here. And then there's another party barge just on a leisure cruise, and here we are, full steam ahead. And I think he said, he said, I guess I can go ahead and not lift and make a little contact with these boats. And y'all racers, after watching y'all the last 2 nights, y'all feel right at home. So it was pretty good. We had a really exciting time there. So that was another event we did. And then we topped it off last night at Andy D's at Navarre Beach. We had a Clash on the Coast deck party with live music, and they've been great for us and helped us out a lot. And I think we had right at 100, a little over 100 people there last night. So it's, like I said, the weather was great. Everybody's out there in shorts and flip-flops and short sleeves. So, yeah, it was pretty good. It was a real good time. And we want to continue to do that stuff. I think that's going to solidify the event, grow the event, and continue on just trying to get as many racers down here as we can and support these communities and these counties down here, these towns, and try and get them more involved with these tracks, and not just on our event, but throughout the year. You know, if we can produce good racing at our event, it sets the tone for the remainder of the year for these events, for these tracks.
Because this is the weekend that the Bilbist Eastern region gets their point season kicked off. You know, we've got drivers from Michigan, Pennsylvania, you know, right here on the Gulf Coast, you know, that are in that Eastern region. That this is where they kick it off right now, and they chase for that championship.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want these tracks smooth. We want them smooth, and like I said, we can't control Mother Nature, and we just want racers to come down here and have a good experience, and enjoy and make memories with their families, and make it a destination. You know, enjoy it, come down, have fun, win some money. I know it's $1,000 win, which actually Slim's Auto Salvage
that's Tuesday night.
Added $1,000 to the winner of each division, and you know that was a cool thing he did there. And we want to thank Mr. Robin for that. And yeah, we want to pay more, of course, but we want to make sure we take care of everybody. You know, so our purse is $1,986. It's structured really well. So yeah, we want to do some more stuff for that. We added a lot of B money last year. To this year, I'm sorry. So we're working on all that, and yeah, we're just going to keep rocking.
This never quits, does it? Just spins circles.
I wish it did. I really do. Like, I'll be laying in bed and baby, I start talking. She goes, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "I'm just telling you, it's a good idea." And she goes, "Just go to bed." Oh my goodness. So, yeah, we're excited about all that also. So,
yeah.
But I think events, when you try to build an event, I know it don't happen overnight, and in my opinion, it takes 2 to 3 years to make it a staple event. I think we're right on that edge, and I think with a few more adjustments, I think we're going to be right where we need to be at. I think it's going to be, we're going to have a lot more racers coming down and just having a racing vacation.
Well, it's kind of like I look at you look at Super Nationals. In 1983, who would have thought the Super Nationals is where it's at today? Same way with events like this. You start off with, here's our core group here, and then 20 years down the road, it's like, wow, there's this, there's that. Now it's extra nights, or now it's this. It's just always tweaking that, but yet keeping that fun in there, because that's what, just walking the pits and talking to the racers. It's the fun of coming in, starting at 6:30 or 7 o'clock, getting done by 10, hanging out, going to the beach, doing all that good stuff. And that's, if you don't have the fun to go with the passion and the heartaches, you don't have the full meal deal.
No, it takes a lot, and we enjoy it and have fun. And I mean, I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted because this thing is bad to the bone now. I'm like wanting out there on it. So I'm excited. I'm really, really stoked up to see what this thing does tomorrow night. I'll be honest, I've been over there in the lineup chute, these racers coming by, and I'm like, everyone's like,
Thumbs up going, yeah.
So I'm excited, they're happy, and, you never want to be disappointed. We had there was several conversations I'd have earlier in the week. You don't want to have them, but, I always like hitting it head on, and usually when cooler heads prevail, everything works out. So
sometimes it's a lot easier just to not go to your phone and let it breathe for 12 hours, and then, hey, can we talk?
It is.
It's a lot easier that way.
And Bobcat told me, "Dude," he said, "you're great." He said, "I think you're doing a great job." He said, "You got one big fault." And I said, "What is that?" And he said, "You wear your heart on your shoulder, brother." And I was like, "I know, but I've been grown up around this sport, with people in my family, Larry Shaw, Billy Moyer, and Wendell and Jeff, and just the whole racing community that's surrounded Batesville, and like that's all I know, So if something don't flow properly, it really eats at me, and I want to continue to get better, and just give everything I got. That's why my mind never stops.
And I think that's anything in life. If you don't strive to be better at what you do, you're never going to get better. If you can't look at your mistakes or listen with an open ear at constructive, there's always constructive criticism, and there's always getting your what chewed off.
Oh yeah.
You gotta, once you figure that out, it becomes okay. Yeah, this guy's got a valid point, or no, this lady's just her cheeseburger was too cold, so that's what she's mad about tonight.
Yeah. Well, I've got a lot of good people. Like, I've got several friends that are really great promoters that are always reaching out to me, and I get some crazy idea and bounced off of them or something. And Brett and Jim's always a phone call away, and I bounce a lot of stuff off Brett, and he shoots you straight. He always shoots me straight, and I appreciate, all he does and all Jim does, and just IMCA in general, And I told him when we first started this deal, I said, look, he said, well, if anybody can make a speed week in Florida go and be a big party, it's you. You're the only guy I know that can do it. So, but, I don't want to – I just told him, I said, man, I can't do it without IMCA. I said, there's no way I would even attempt this if you ain't 100% on board. And we followed up later that week, and he said, I'm in, let's go. And we got the great bunch at IMCA TV on board, and it's been great ever since. And I really look for what this event, after we get through Saturday, I'm really looking forward to announcing some plans for next year that I think is going to just take it over the top. I think we're going to have record numbers next year. I've got some stuff in the old pipeline that I'm working on, so just really excited about that. But I do want to take 1 second, and I try to pump you guys up a lot. Jerry does a great job announcing, and I won't give you some props. I don't want to blow your head up too big, but you really, if you watch races and big shows, Super Nationals, all these other things, and you've got an announcer that don't enjoy it and don't feel it, the fans, they don't get to feel that through you. You know what I mean? So props to Jerry on all he does in the announcing. He helps us out on our MRP and our website a bunch too. So I don't ever give him shout outs. So he'll be probably bopping around a little bit too heavy now. So, but
can you get a skill saw? We need to open that door a little bit.
For sure. But
no, thank you.
But Ben and Garrett and Nate and the entire IMCA TV crew, I don't think, and I've tried getting them to let me do some backstage stuff where I can film them and all this, but it is just absolutely mind-blowing. Bobcat even, we was talking about it a lot. They get here, I think it was Sunday, start setting up. We got rained out. So Monday they're there at 11. I think there's 12 or 14 on this production team. I don't know. I lost count. I'm just glad
10.
I'm just glad I wasn't buying supper, but they are nonstop from the time they start working all night. It is the most impressive thing I've seen on the backside of the racing program. So I know people, if you get somewhere and the service is sketchy or there's issues and people want to be the first one to get on social media and just pounce on the streaming services, whether it's IMCA TV or any of them. But if you knew all the stuff that goes into these productions, I don't think you get on there and slam them near as much. And, that's somebody asked me about social media and racing, and I said, the only bad thing about social media and racing is people get on there and say stuff, and, they just, I don't know, I guess you can say something that get taken one to the nose, Yeah. So, but it's the world we live in, You just got to adapt, overcome, and the way you got to look at it, good, bad, or ugly, if they're talking about you, they're talking about you, So, but yeah, what y'all do behind the scenes is absolutely unreal. So, thanks to them, they're a huge part of this event. And like I said, we couldn't do it without all y'all.
No, exactly. Watching some stock cars here, you can watch the monitor there. They're not going to film our goofy faces. But Jimmy Gusson out there ripping off a 2 right now. He's getting quicker. I've been watching Jimmy in some of these practice sessions. Of course, hard to believe that Jimmy's a 40-plus something sophomore season. He was a rookie in the stock cars last year, and he won his first stock car track championship at Marshalltown. He was pretty excited about that.
Hey.
But he got this Bobcat built in this new hot rod here over the winter, and Adley said, "Let's go racing, Dad."
Well,
he's quick.
You don't have to see no racers have no issues, and to see him come out and have a good test session tonight, that's good. People ain't gonna come down here if they have 4 bad nights in a row.
No.
So, we need these guys to have some good runs, and Jimmy's just one hell of a guy. I mean, I like the jammer, and I think the first time I ever met him was the next day after he got into a squabble over there on the pit lane at Super Nationals.
Oh, I
don't remember what happened.
That might. I mean, if there's no video, it didn't happen. But I think I've seen it a couple times.
But I've never seen a Superman punch thrown. I mean, live in person, not at like a caged UFC fight. I mean, it was impressive, and I knew right then I wanted to be on the good side of him. So, but Jimmy's a good dude, and really, really happy to see him make the trip down. I've been on him a couple years about trying to get him to come down here, and then I called him yesterday, and I said, "What are you doing?" "Oh, we're at the beach and all this." So, I think they're having a good time, Monica and their whole family's down here. So it's neat to see them people come down and support you, especially when you kind of, you go and watch them and they're kind of like you look up to them, they've accomplished so much in their career that they're good people, and they're just like us. They're working people, so.
You ought to be proud. You did something. You got him off the porch. He came racing out. He went a little further south than 30 and a little further north than 30. Usually he's just a Boone Marshalltown guy.
Yeah.
But I was surprised when he said, "Yeah, I'm going to go down there to Clash on the Coast." I said, "Yeah, that'll work out for you." Well, I figured he'd back out.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but I was just happy when he pulled in the gate. So, and then Dylan Thornton was on his way down, I guess, and took a wrong turn. It was probably Facebooking while he was driving.
He was probably up.
And I think he missed his exit and went 2.5 hours out of the way. He's almost to Atlanta. I don't think nobody knows that.
Somehow the trailer and the truck, the box side met. I haven't asked him that story. But
that was.
I saw that in the Snapchat.
Yeah, he was pulling in Northwest Florida and probably overshot his entrance and dipped the trailer down, and it kinked the truck and the trailer a little bit. So, and then he pulled in, and the back of his trailer was all bent up. And I said, "Did you do that too?" Yeah, I did that too. He said, "That wasn't on this trip." I'm like, "Man, you're rough on equipment."
Oh, he sometimes is.
Yeah, and Dilly, he's had a tough week too.
Yeah,
so,
he has.
Looking forward to hopefully seeing him have some better luck this week too, and I'm sure there's going to be some serious. Just watching from practice, I think we're going to see some pretty serious sliders because, man, you can drive in the corner down here in 3 till you see Jesus. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Go in till you see Jesus and go 2 more car lengths and then you turn. So.
Yeah. And then you just stick it in there, hope it goes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well,
Peyton, good to have you. You better get back to work.
All right.
Or whatever you got going on
thank
tonight.
You, Jerry.
My
Thank
man.
y'all.
All right. So, hey, we're doing some docu-series stuff down here. You saw some of that stuff with like Jimmy, and I think they're doing with Jim. They did one with so and so. Remember that last year? Remember the old Dirt Collective, the Boone docu-series? Remember that awesome docu-series? Guess what's coming out here in a couple of weeks?
Boone docu-series?
Boone docu-series season 2. So, and hey, guess what? I got a sneak hijack feed of it, and we're going to watch it right now.
Let's check that out.
Yeah.
Well, good afternoon.
Look good?
That's good.
Welcome to day number 1 of the Speedway Motors IMCA Super Nationals, fueled by KC's Ryan. What a great day it is, and we are just about ready to get things.
You never see a guy that just got lucky win Super Nationals. They're the best there is in the country.
If you're doing good throughout the year, I think anybody's goal is to come here and win.
Every heat race, you got somebody that's good. And some of them got 3, 4, 5 guys that are good.
I think the big thing is we all just want to see how we stack up against the best.
It's always 2, 3 wide throughout the pack. I mean, you can be racing 14th and 3 wide. I mean, it's just close quarters all the time.
Everybody's got their eyes on this event, so it means something to go out there and run well.
If I win the Super Nationals, my name goes on the back of that shirt for eternity. Nobody ever forgets if you won Super Nationals.
Oh, and the Bobcat says it all with that last quote there. If you win Super Nationals, everybody in the world knows it. There's only, I believe, maybe one other race in the country, and that's maybe the Daytona 500, Ben, that on that Saturday after Labor Day. I mean, it's etched on the T-shirts, it's on the trophies, it's in everybody's mind, and everybody talks about a Super Nationals champion, and they continue from champions from 83 to 2024, and we mark 2025 coming up here in September, which doesn't seem like, it seems like a long ways away.
Sure.
But Super National is going to be here before we know it.
Absolutely. You're forever etched in mythical lore when it comes to Speedway Motors IMCA Weekly action. If you can be on the stage on that final night, P1, I mean, I just love seeing all the emotions and expressions. There's flames going up, there's fireworks going off, and just the driver. Kelly Shryock last year, heart-jerking moment when he won in the Sunoco IMCA stock cars, and he finally got, kind of like a Dale Earnhardt-esque, finally got the Daytona 500 win. And, Wade asked him, listen to those people, and then he just started tears in his eyes. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
That was one of those deals. Kelly, for so many years, has tried to chase that modified championship for the Super Nationals. It's just eluded him over so many years. And within the last, 5-6 years, teaming up with Mike Howland and the gang at Lake Mills Motorsports on that 3-car, it has been, he pulls in, you might as well, who we're right in second place, check to.
Sure.
Because when that 3-car shows up, and when he came into the Prelude, you could see that week. He was a perennial favorite all week, and he was able to do that. And who would have thought Dylan Thornton would have bookended his Super Nationals with a championship in a late model and a championship in a modified, and the only 3-division winner. So it's so neat, and people remember that stuff. Dylan. Yes. You ask Dylan, he can tell you how many times he started on the front row, what night he's qualified first for. He just says, I'm the only guy that's done this. I'm the only guy. And now he is the only guy with
Sure.
3 of them. And, you got guys like Dallin Murdy right there you see on screen with a couple of those. And, Father Damon, it's one of those things. When you win a Super Nationals title, it's like you become royalty. You become this person that you never thought you could be, but when you get there, it's so stunning, And there's guys like David Smith. That one, David Smith is that's his Daytona 500. He always says it. He says Dale Earnhardt won a Daytona 500. I'll eventually win a Super Nationals.
Yeah, and it's great that you bring up Dallin Murdy because it was him and Kelly Shryock with a rock'em sock'em sprint to the finish to get that one in. And yeah, just super exciting. And it's one of those deals. There's a lot of people, I go back home to the Pacific Northwest, and a lot of guys that race or even fans, man, I want to go to Boone. What's it like? And it's like Disney World or like having a kid. You have to experience it firsthand in order to really properly describe it.
Yes. What's Jimmy Buffett say? You can't describe the ocean if you've never seen it.
Sure. Sure.
But yeah, it's just one of those things, And just this week, some of the great things like this show that you're watching right now, some of the new things that we've got coming out in 2025 on our marquee events on IMCA TV. I'm so excited. I got a telestrator, or I got my Etch-a-Sketch, and I can draw pictures and numbers and spell names wrong. So we've got that, and doing some more of the docu-series stuff. We've seen some of that already on our broadcast here this week. So just trying to, like we always do, move that needle just one more closer to perfection. You're never going to always find perfection, but if we keep moving that thing, we always know it is. And we hope you're enjoying a show like this tonight, the show like Sunday night, these pre-race or these practice night shows that aren't just about watching cars go in circles, but getting some more information on, the men and women in our sport that make things happen, because without everybody, I've always said, without the racer, the promoter, the track owner, the guy that picks up the trash, the lady that cleans the bathrooms, without all those people having a passion for this sport, without those people, it doesn't happen.
Absolutely. And you mentioned of all these events, whether it's Super Nationals, Clash on the Coast, Harris Clash, all those deals, and even IMC TV, started with the dream. And like Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it. And it's just so beautiful to see how something that was more or less, really, you think about, an experiment has just blossomed into full-on success.
You went with Walt Disney. I was thinking more of like Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror Picture Show. If you can dream it, you can be it.
Yeah.
Remember the monster?
There you go. There you go.
Oh, that's a good old show, by the way.
It's just so cool. Nothing's stagnant. Everything is everyone. I mean, you've been in the IMC TV production meetings and to so many of the events. Everybody's thinking of how do we make things better for the experience for the viewer, or even for the folks that are coming live in person. Because habits change, right? Unfortunately, a lot of folks, their attention spans maybe not like when we were growing up.
Squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. In which, how can we not necessarily build a better mousetrap, but how can we make things better so that we can reach some new people, make some trendy things to where it might attract some folks that are maybe a younger generation and make them a lifelong race fan.
Exactly. If we don't, I remember being a kid and that's all I ever wanted to do was go to the car races. Mm-hmm. Now the kids today, there's so much going on. And if we don't, if the generation we're in or the generation, above me that got me started, if there weren't people in that, like my dad that was, hey, we're going to the races, and hey, we're going to do this, we're going to, if it wasn't for somebody like him, I wouldn't be doing this.
Exactly.
And to be able to work with some of the greatest promoters in the country that I've got to work with over the years, somebody started them. Mm-hmm. They may have raced a car and thought, well, my next thing I'm going to just promote a racetrack because I know what to do.
Sure.
And, so it's just that transition and things that make so many people in our sport just, everyday heroes.
Well, and what I got to give Peyton and the whole tracks promoters as well, props and kudos, the 12 and under for free. I've got a lot of young children that are in my house and sometimes the budget's tight, but in order to give them a chance, they love to come to the races when they can, and that isn't going to be a financial strain. It's more so to let folks know we just want to get you here. the young crowd.
Yeah.
And all it takes is a hero card, or maybe getting a T-shirt, or just getting your shirt signed, and all of a sudden you fall in love with it.
You know, and that's the deal too. You talk about, Ben, being on the promoter side of it. You know, I have to watch my Friday night program, and same at Boone. You know, we watch our Saturday night program. We know we've got a window. We've got a window that the racers want to be there. We got a window that the fans want to be there. But like you said, those kids 12 and under, they're getting free.
Yeah.
You think, you and I know, we all know, you think our attention span is different.
Sure.
Theirs is.
Sure.
So now all of a sudden, if mom and dad bring the kids out to the races, they got them in for free. But now all of a sudden they've been there an hour and now it's time to go because you drag the show on.
Yes.
Or you take too long with this. You don't. You don't look at your program and go, okay, how do I tighten this up? So that then all of a sudden these kids are like, I want to go. Well, mom and dad are enjoying themselves, but now they've got to go. And that's if we don't, I feel if we don't keep moving that bar as promoters and race event coordinators to keep that bang, 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 something happening all the time, we could take the chance of losing that younger generation because their parents won't bring them back because they're like, I'm not going out there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay $30 for me and the wife.
Sure.
Yeah, my kids get in free, but we get there at 7 and we leave by 8 and we've only seen 5 races.
Yeah, and I gotta say, if there's some folks tuned in on the socials that Peyton has really been a man of his word, and his team, of course. We've been doing, I feel like, just a stellar job in the first 2 nights of racing and getting done at a reasonable time on a school night, on a work night, So if you're in the local area or maybe thinking about making the trip down, because what'd you say? Only about 25 hours.
Yeah, I mean, if you're 25 hours away,
you're in that window. Window's starting to close a little bit. But,
yeah, you can still get it. As long as you make it by 7 o'clock or by 6 o'clock on Saturday, you'll get to see one night of racing then live. But yeah, I mean, if it's one of those things, if you're sitting at home and you're X amount of hours away and like, man, I ought to go. We ought to just get in the car and go. Just get in the car and go.
Sure.
There's so many things that we always I always look back. There's one concert that I said, well, we'll see them when they come next time, that I still to this day kick myself in the tail, and that was when Rush was at Arrowhead in Kansas City, and I said, we'll get to see him next time around. And then nope, there was never a next time. So it's like, I just wish I could have had that one, that concert going to see Rush, but it's same thing there. It's let's go to the races. The races will be there next week. The races will be there next week. Well, by not going and supporting, that might not be there next week.
Sure. And if you're not in the local area, maybe that 25-hour window might not be realistic. You can catch it all on IMCA TV. And I tell you what, we've talked about some of the folks, and we've shown some of the folks that are racing here. We've got some big names, and I'm not trying to sell anybody's snake oil. It's a fact of the matter of these fields are super stacked, and it's going to I think this deal, it's going to be really good.
Oh yeah, you can go back and you can look at the names, look at the results from Monday and Tuesday, where everybody's from, where they're coming from, and all that. And it's fun down here. I mean, if you can't make it yet this year, and you've enjoyed what you see, just make sure and put it on your calendar for next year. Like I said, Peyton there, the wheels are, knowing him as long as I've known him, those wheels, they never stop turning, and he's always looking at, like any good promoter, what can I do to better my program? How do I get this to happen? And that's what makes these events great, is it's always pushing the bar further and further to better yourself. So.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we bored them enough. I think we've went through all the content we had planned for you. I think we've given you some practice. We've heard. I hope you enjoyed the show. Like we said, we're going to do a lot more of these before, on some of these big shows where we've got practice and things like that. Bring you some of the behind-the-scenes thing. Just kick back, relax, and have fun. So tomorrow, like we said, it'll be 7 o'clock Central Time that we'll go green flag racing for racing on Friday, and it'll be 6 p.m. Central. Of course, where we're at here in Alabama, we are on Central Daylight Time. Of course, when we start here at 7, it's 8 just 4.5 hours to the east of us. It's hard to believe we're that close, but yet we're that so far away. So we do thank you for tuning in for a little live look in here tonight. Of course, we hope you can stop on out to IMCA TV. Remember, get that replay pass. Maybe you didn't buy the first 2 nights. Go buy that $24.95 replay pass right now. You can go back and tune in all the great action that you missed from the first 2 nights. Kind of do that old, that streaming binging. Just binge it. Just binge it right now. Start it when you hang up here, and then tune it on in. And then don't forget to join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. We hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, IMCA TV, it's where America comes to watch racing, and IMCA, it's where America comes to race. And we'll be here for the next 2 nights at the Deep South Speedway in Loxley, Alabama.